Hello, welcome. This is Arthur O'Connor. I'm the academic director of the MS Data Science online degree program here at the School of Professional Studies of the City University of New York. Thank you for joining us. I've got Rashana Ali online as well, who is the assistant director, who will also help answer your questions as you text them in the chat box. What we'd like to do today is I just have about a dozen slides that I'm going to zip through, of which these slides will be available to you after the session, and just to answer your questions about our program, about the admissions process, and whatever you want to ask. My slides will just go through just give you a quick overview of the course, and just to share with you move that a little bit on the side. Our mission and value proposition is to, help you earn credentials and acquire the knowledge to advance your career. We offer, advanced programming instruction in a bunch of languages and using various groups of, industry best practice tools. And basically, you get, an academic degree from an accredited, well-known institution at a substantial discount to what you might get in a traditional college or university. We do not require the GRE, and we look for a grade point average 3.0 or greater, although, we can be flexible about that depending on, your background, what you've done. Most of our students are, working adults who have not been in school for a number of years, and so that GPA may not be representative of their, what their actual performance level is. And so we hope that this, offers our students a great value proposition in making one of the best investments they can make in their career. Just to put that in context with some other programs that are available online, you can see that we've, got a bunch of different awards over the recent years, and we're starting to get some, recognition on a national and possibly even an international basis. To put this slide in here to just give you some idea of kind of what the current market out there is. I often tell people that averages are not, particularly in the field, as diverse as data science is. Probably they have some internal validity problems, as the statisticians would say. Data science can be someone who's a lowly data analyst making only $40K a year to a data scientist making $400K a year. So it's kind of hard to generalize, but this gives you just some idea of sort of the average salary, the distribution of the salaries in the United States, and some examples on the right-hand side of salaries at levels at various companies. Perhaps more importantly is the hiring outlook, and I've listed some what I think are pretty good research reports on hiring trends in data sciences. Those links at the bottom of the slide. But it just kind of shows you, if you look particularly in professional services and finance, pretty healthy growth rates in demand. Just a very promising outlook for a field that seems to be really growing and embraced by many, many different types of businesses. One of the things I think that is an important differentiator is that we use adjunct professors. These are people who, unlike professional academics, they don't have to teach. They teach because they want to, because they love to, because they're good at it. And also they bring, real world, up-to-date knowledge about the topic and the subject matter, rather than someone who might be out of industry for a number of years without knowing, sort of the latest trends. Then you might ask, okay, this is an online program. What are the, what can we share in terms of the critical success factors to learning online? I would say that most of our students are new to taking an online course, particularly taking an online course the way we deliver online courses, which is a little different from other organizations where you just sign up and you just do it at a purely self-paced level, and there's no active instructor involved. So basically, the what is pretty much the same from a traditional course. It's how it's delivered. Obviously, there's a great reliance on asynchronous communications and self-driven learning. So basically, the benefits is that, since it's self-paced within those 15-week periods, you can more easily balance your work, career, personal life, and study time. We found that one of the big obstacles for working adults to go back and get their master's is that the time it takes to go back and forth to the library, go back and forth to the campus. So this really does help you with that. There is video conference call meetups every 2 weeks to get that sort of synchronous interaction exchange with the professor via video conference call. The challenges are, you really have to exercise some self-discipline in studying independently. You need to manage your time very effectively, and you have to be your own advocate. So, some of our, they're professionals that are teaching. Sometimes they get stuck in, an acquisition or a big proposal that you need to do, and so if you don't hear back from your professor within 24 hours or 48 hours, you need to, don't be shy and speak up for yourself and say, hey, I want you to get back to me. Please get back to me now. So, you should be comfortable about being your own advocate. So what is the profile of successful online students? They tend to be motivated, self-starters. They speak up, they take action. But perhaps most importantly is that those last two bullets. They manage their time, they set boundaries, and they persist. So I think I spoke a little bit about the mix of synchronous and asynchronous interaction is how we teach. We focus on, you're developing a project, a portfolio of work samples with, I'm sure you're aware that the mantra from hiring managers is now, don't tell me how good you are, show me. And that's why it's always valuable to have links embedded in your CV to show what sort of studies you've done, what sort of languages you've mastered, and what sort of, what your end product looks like. We try to foster teamwork and collaboration simply because that's endemic in the workspace now. Some courses, not all, but some courses have 360-degree feedback. So a big part of your grade is based on how you work well with others. Again, a demand that we hear from employers. And the technology that we'll need to use, those various different systems listed there. CUNY first, Blackboard, CUNY email, and for example of what the Blackboard system, that's our learning management system. The course designs vary a little bit, but they should have some of the same navigation structures, of which there are announcements, discussion board, weekly assignments, video links with the meetups, which are also recorded for those people who were not available to attend that particular session, and of course the grades. This is what our current curriculum looks like. We've recently updated it. We've reduced it from 36 to 30 credits, which became effective this current semester, which is now just wrapping up. I would say that our 7 required courses are kind of what I would consider just the basic fundamental things you really need to know if you want to call yourself a data scientist, meaning you have to know something about probability and statistics, what is statistically valid and what is not, in terms of sampling, in terms of model design. You need to wrangle data from lots of different types of systems and lots of different formats and structures, data structures. You have to learn a lot of the scripting languages like Python and its many different libraries of both data visualization and statistical packages, as well as R. You would be good to know, visual analytics in order to present this data in compelling and interesting ways, and regression modeling and the many different decision tree equations and algorithms that are associated with regression. And then there's the electives, and then you can see we offer a wide range of electives, and this is what we view as, so you learn the basics and now you apply the basics to whatever field you're in. So if you're in, you work for a big manufacturing company or a retailer, you might want to learn simulation and modeling, supply chain optimization and whatnot. If you're along Wall Street, you might want to take our quantitative finance course. If you're in the internet e-commerce business, you might want to take our web analytics course. So, we offer these electives based on kind of your special interest or your particular area of expertise that you want to focus on. And this is our great empire of people. That's me on the right, and Rakshana Ali, who's on the call now. She's your new best friend. She handles all the admissions things, and so you want to sort of, if you're interested, you want to reach out to her, and she can help you answer any questions you have on the process of admissions, the criteria, and what you need to do. And with that said, let's go to the chat board and see what kind of questions you have. Well, I guess I must have done a good job.
Hey, Arthur, there's a question from Amit Kapoor. Please let me know if the timeline to complete of 1 year is fixed. Does that make any sense to you, or Ali?
Yeah.
Or Rakshana?
I would say that's it's because of the new change in the curriculum, it makes it possible, if you really load up your courses and take some courses in the summer semester, you could complete it, but you're by no means required to complete it in 1 year. In fact, if you're a full-time working adult, we would probably encourage you not to try to do that, at least at first. So we want you to take you at least 2, not 4 courses per semester. And in that way, you could complete it in over a 2-year period. But we just say that there are some students who just want to get this done as fast as possible to advance their career, and so they'll take a full workload. So this new format makes it possible to do that, but you're by no means required to do it. You can take as long as 3 years to complete the degree. It's funny, Darren, I don't see that question. Oh, there we go.
There's a questions tab that you see.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was talking. I was muted. But
yeah, yeah, I can see that.
and you can click the question to see the full sentence on the lower part.
Okay, if you're a CUNY undergrad student, is it possible to take courses in undergrad that would transfer to the data science program? The quick answer to that is probably no. You'd have to take graduate courses to have them transfer into the graduate program, but it certainly wouldn't hurt you to take some courses in, if you're not familiar with R or Python, to take some, some free MOOC courses on those things to brush up your skills in programming. Hope that answers your question. I have a stats and calculus background, but I lack programming experience. Would it still be possible to accept in programming? Well, you're not alone. There's lots of people who are that way, that they have good quantitative skills, but they lack certain programming experience. I would encourage you to reach out to Rakshana. We have a recommended informal list of MOOC, massively online offered courses where you could use to, brush up on SQL or learn some SQL, learn some R, and learn some Python. And that would clearly, help you in applying for the program and qualifying for the program, I should say. Small. Any other questions? Oh gosh, there they are. Okay, I can see them now. Okay, so is there financial aid available? Oops. What happened here? Hold on.
I can help with that question, Arthur.
Okay, all right.
So financial aid is available, but as you might be aware, it's limited for graduate students. What I would recommend for you to do is actually reach out to our financial aid office for more information. I'm going to also include the link to our financial aid department, their webpage rather, where they have the options for graduate students listed on their page.
Okay, good. If you don't have a computer science undergraduate degree, how do you prepare and prove you're ready? Elizabeth, we can send you that list of MOOC courses. Just reach out to Rakshana, and she can provide you that. That would certainly help you prepare for applying to the course. Can a student take 2 free courses per year? Again, George, we try to have people take at least 2 courses in order just to, we like a certain pace. We don't want them to take too long to get the degree, because the longer you're in the program, the higher chance you have of dropping. So we want you to move along. You don't have to accelerate, but you have to move on. So I think, 4 courses per year would probably be more appropriate, but if there's you have some compelling reason why you only need to take 1 course in a semester because you're moving or you accepted a new job, we certainly would be flexible about that. I think I answered that question. Does the regression course cover logistic and probit? The answer to James is yes, it does. This program has lots of math, so are there any? Yes, we can. Again, that MOOC list of courses have some, I believe, has some math brush-up courses that you can take. That's the question about the stats and calculus background in programming. Is there data available showing success rates, student feedback? We do use a student feedback form for internal purposes to find out, which of our professors are doing a good job, which one needs some help. That's not publicly available data currently. I think there's an appetite to provide some sort of performance scorecard publicly, but that's still in the works for us. What are the prerequisites for some of the programming courses mentioned? I mentioned that that list of MOOC courses, basic knowledge of R, SQL. Yeah, I mean, if you have program experience, that's fine. You don't have to be an expert. And if you're kind of rusty, we have a bridge, so-called bridge workshop for both R, SQL, and Python to help people sort of get up to speed on those things, which we offer for free for those students which are, quote, conditionally accepted, meaning we believe that you have the right aptitude and background, you just need to brush up on your skills. And we offer that for free. I see the benefit of getting work samples to completion. Can you speak to the opportunity to actually take charge of analysis problem, devise a methodology, and solve a problem and enlighten decision makers? Wow, that's a great question. And I wish I had a better answer, Jonathan, but I would say that there's something called the capstone course, which I teach, as well as others teach it. And it's kind of like the master's thesis course, if you're familiar with that. And basically it's the opportunity to apply what you learn to a real world problem or a challenge or something that you want to solve. And so your capstone instructor, takes you through that and mentors you on trying to take charge of an analysis of a problem and address it. So in that way we do, but we don't have a particular course on leadership or leadership development or anything like that. That's which you would find in some master's programs, but unfortunately we don't have that quite yet. Again, we're a very technical, very quantitative degree program, and that's not within our purview as of now. Is TOEFL score mandatory for international students? The short answer is yes, but if you can demonstrate a real strong command of the language and the way you express yourself, we might be able to waive that. But our general rule is that we look for a TOEFL score if you have, for students using transcripts from foreign economies. What are the academic prerequisites for admission? There are course prereqs, the need from accredited institution or something like Coursera. We look for there's an answer here. Oh, I have to be an undergraduate degree. So yeah, just read Rakshana's response to that. And Rakshana has responded to the next one too. And the next one, I'm assuming you can see the screen, right? Is there any kind of minimum criteria other than GPA?
I can see the academic staff contacts, but no one can see the questions listed.
Okay. So you can see the answer, but not the questions? Yes?
So we can see your slide deck, right? But
you can't see this.
Yeah, your questions that people are sending in is invisible to the audience.
Okay. So let's go back up then. So academic, the answer is all academic prereqs are to have an undergraduate degree. So that's the answer to that question. Are there video classes? Yes, there's that video meetup every 2 weeks. Is this presentation available? Yes, the answer to that, we'll send it out to you. Is there any kind of minimum criteria other than GPA? The answer is no. I mean, we look at your application, we ask for letters of reference, we review your transcripts, and of course the TOEFL score if you got your education from an overseas institution, but that's it. There is a challenge exam where we look to make a judgment of your relative skills in different areas, either on the technical side, the math side, or the programming side. And like I said, we use that then to decide who can be like fully admitted up front and who can be, quote, conditionally admitted, meaning they'd have to take and complete the 3-week bridge course on brushing up those skills. Okay, I'm just scrolling down here. Do some courses require research work at college? Is there a hybrid course among the list? I'm not sure what you mean by that. We focus on, Rakshana has said there are no hybrid courses available. We focus on secondary research, not primary research, if that's what you're getting at. Meaning that this is all about data that already exists. It's not about creating research data. What are the requirements for the graduate program? What are the requirements to graduate from the program? Completion of the 30 credits with a minimum of graduation, which is a big point. Do any of the courses cover video support vector machines and regression? Yes. Support vector machines are in 602 and 621, and another course that now escapes me, but the short answer is yes. Is there a resource available that goes into greater detail on what topics are covered in each course? Well, I would recommend that you check out the website. We have the course curriculum listed there, and if you click on each individual course, there's a description of what that course goes through. Are there any courses or module on sports analytics? No. If I'm not mistaken, some of our students who took their capstones actually did a project regarding sports analytics, but we don't have a course on it. James, the best way to look at us is we're really a sort of a methodology-based program, not so much an application-based or vertical industries-focused course, program. So it's sort of keep learning the basics in order to be able to apply it to a data in whatever industry. And the purpose of the electives is to give sort of a vertical flavor to that, but we don't have a specific course or module that has to do with a particular topic like sports analytics. Do students pick the topic challenge of their course? Yes, they do. But within reason, so it has to be approved by the instructor. But yes, there's a great flexibility. Does this program offer winter and summer courses? We do offer a summer course. We don't offer the winter course simply because the winter session is only 3 weeks, and we just don't see anyone surviving that sort of intensity. Summer courses is 7 weeks. And to cram 15 weeks of instruction in 7 weeks is sort of challenge enough as it is. Is this degree credited? The answer is yes. Will the final degree have online mention in it? No, that's a popular question. Your degree will look like the degree from any other CUNY university. It says CUNY, it has your name, it says the institution, it says what degree you got in, but no, there's nothing that says that will look any different than if you got your degree from, Baruch. So, no. Any other questions? Okay, we've got some more questions now. Should we be familiar with Git and have a GitHub account for the program? Yeah, I would say so, because eventually you're going to want to use that anyway, and it's pretty easy to get an account there and sign up, because it is a good repository, and some of the courses make use of it. Is it possible to download lectures to a laptop or phone? Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend trying to play it on a phone, but yeah, our videos are posted to a YouTube channel, and so you just click that YouTube channel, and then you can watch the lecture if you had missed it and still want to see. Obviously, you can't have a real-time interaction with it, but you can at least see what your peers, what your other classmates have asked the instructor. When does the application period for spring begin? It will, Roxana has answered that question. It will open up as soon as the fall 2018 admissions cycle closes at the end of June. The deadline for spring 2019 will be sometime in November. Exact date TBD. How many students are admitted in an average year, and what is their typical profile? Students, it varies from 40 to 50. It's gone up beyond that, and we're hoping that it grows some more. A typical profile, if memory serves me correctly, the median age is between 35 and 45. The majority are working professionals. The male to female ratio is, I think, like 8:1. And again, they're people that see the growth in data science, have some technical and quantitative skills, and are interested in it, and want to be able to get that credential then in order to advance their career. Can capstone project be a teamwork, or has to be done by individual students? It's actually both. It can either be work as a team, and sometimes there's a group of students who have been working together through the program who naturally sort of form as a team and work as a team. There are others who are more comfortable working on their own, or have particular interests that other students are not interested in doing, and so it's both. What is the acceptance rate? It's pretty high, Ken. I would say that if of the students that apply, I would say about almost 40% are accepted immediately into the program, and the other 40% are conditionally accepted. And then of that 40%, there's some who go through one of the three-week bridge programs to brush up their skills. I would say 70–80% of those wind up being accepted. So it's a majority of the applicants are accepted into the program. I did my graduation in mechanical stream, but I'm having 15 years experience in IT field, so I still do some MOOC courses to be eligible for this program. It really depends on your background. If you have both a quantitative and programming background, you might be good. You might want to check out a list of courses if you're not familiar with either SQL, R, or Python. And that's it for questions. Okay. After the course, does CUNY have any help desk for helping students getting a job in data science? The short answer is no. I and at least two other professors have gotten jobs for people, but it was kind of on a one-off basis. Career services is something that we're looking into. We want to strengthen it, but we don't have a formal. We do have a career services department, but it really focuses more on basic things, not data science. And so, the honest answer is no, but we have helped students get jobs. That also is a true statement. What do you suggest to students that are not coming from a technical or quantitative background? Tiffany, my suggestion would be, if you have a genuine interest in data science, check out some of those, ask Rakshana for that list of MOOC courses, take some of them and see if you have the aptitude for that. There's some people, again, this is not about intelligence, it's about aptitude, meaning some people just take to programming and the structure of it and the way programmers think very easily, very readily. Some people don't. And so that would probably be the best way to see if this field, and particularly this program, is the right one for you. There's lots of different data science programs, and lots of them that aren't quite as technical and quantitative as ours are. But we believe that's the way to go, because that's where employers really look for. They look for those skills. As an employer recently said to me that, data science doesn't have a deficit in degrees, it has a deficit in skills. And so they look for those technical and quantitative skills.